see this case is, um, so the resisting an officer charge, the main piece I see that we can, challenge there is that the cop, so to resist an officer, a person has to knowingly resist an officer while the officer is doing an act in an official capacity and with lawful authority. And I think the with lawful authority is where we might be able to challenge them on it. Because I think we can argue that they did not have the authority to arrest you at the time that they did. Because your video, shows, obviously you're having in the intermodal, having a disagreement with the guy behind the counter. And then, the cops walk up and you're, asking for a sergeant. Obviously, you're kind of upset at the situation. But, they only decide to arrest you when basically you're talking back, asking for a sergeant or a lieutenant. And I think it's pretty debatable whether they had any sort of probable cause to arrest you for disorderly conduct at that point. And I think that is right now where I see, a trial argument.
Okay. But that guy who was there, I never had nothing with him. He approached me that day. Actually, that day I went to court for a ticket for me selling water up there that same day. And he walked out. Huh?
You said you got a ticket for selling water outside the intermodal that day?
Well, not that day. It was, last summer? Last summer.
Yeah, September.
Oh, so the previous year. Okay.
Yeah, last summer, so I had to go to court on that day for that ticket.
Okay.
And so that's when I went back up there because I do a lot of unprofit, like I don't profit from my business. Volunteer. I do a whole lot of volunteer with the community. I'm a community activist and stuff like that. And my post is the Greyhound bus station, where a lot of times elder women, they come and they don't have a way home because the cabs be so high and stuff like that. So, but yeah, like I just been having problems. They tried to put a murder on me up there. A cab driver got killed up there. They tried to put that on me, but thank God that Marquette police had my firearm, so they couldn't put that on me. But that was a whole nother incident, so.
Yeah.
Okay. But it can be used at trial just in case, Yeah, it should be a video of him coming out approaching me from the Greyhound bus station before the cops even arrive.
Yeah, your video. So in the discovery I got from the state, it doesn't look like they've sent over any body cam of the cops from this incident. I've double, responded to them, asked them to send that if they have it. They may or may not end up having it, and, if they end up not having it, then I think that, goes to these cops, not really treating this like any sort of criminal investigation, or anything like that, and also just generally being incompetent. Another thing I was thinking about trying to get is trying to see if the intermodal had any cameras or any footage.
Yeah, they definitely have cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely have cameras.
So I might go try and subpoena them for their footage. So that
that would be necessary.
Because that should have sort of, hopefully a little bit of a bird's eye view of what was happening there.
It'll show Brian coming.
Yeah, it will show him. Go ahead. I'm
your
sorry.
video, it obviously captures sort of the lead up to it, but then, your camera is covered as whatever sort of, little scuffle or whatever you have with the police happens.
Yeah. And the scuffle was me trying not to die that day because I was armed, and I did let them know that I was CCW and Moorish
Yeah.
America. Um,
Mhm.
and so I wouldn't get, because I had got tased too before, and that day I was dehydrated. Like, since I got tased, I've been real dehydrated, and I told them to take me to the hospital, and they didn't want to take me to the hospital. So when they did take me to the hospital, they found out that I was dehydrated, and they had to treat me for dehydration. Did you get that?
Okay.
Did you get
Okay.
that email?
Yeah.
Okay. So, oh yeah, you say what time do you want me to meet you at your office? Because like I say, the Zoom thing, I don't know nothing about that, and this.
Let's see. So court on Friday is at 9. So, I mean, if you want to get here, try and get here just like a little bit before that. That should be fine. It'll be it'll be pretty quick.
Okay. And also, what about my firearm?
So, unfortunately, yeah, you're not getting that back until this case is resolved.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just, technically it is evidence, even if ultimately you're found not guilty. But you'll if you're found if you are found not guilty, you will be able to get it back then. But yeah, until then, they're going to be hanging on to that.
Right, until after the okay.
And I'm sure you do also have a bond condition of no firearms.
What a bomb condition.
They said you can't have.
So bail.
Or
So you know how. Let's see. So you know how they gave you the PR bond?
Based on the guy at the bus station.
Sorry, what was that?
That was based on the bus station.
Yeah, so they gave you a signature bond, which basically means, you didn't have to pay any money to get out of jail at the time, but if you violate any of the conditions of your bail, you can be on the hook for that money and also catch a charge for bail jumping, which is violating a condition of bail.
But you also go ahead.
So those conditions of bail are obviously commit no new crimes, and also the no contact order with.
Well, I never did no crime anyway, so I don't want to say don't commit no new crime. I never committed a crime.
Okay, well, no crimes then. So the no contact order says you're not to have any contact with this the employee whose initials were BM.
Yeah.
And you also have a no contact order with the intermodal station.
Yeah.
Which obviously that's pretty inconvenient potentially. But even if you didn't have it with the intermodal, this guy still does work there.
So are we treating this guy as the real victim?
Sorry, I'm having your.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just like a little muffled or something.
Okay, I was saying, so are we treating this guy as the real victim?
I mean, he's an alleged. Well, I mean, he's not really even.
Because the police report reads something different, and then the DA trumped up a charge to get my firearm. I don't know if you looked at it that way.
There's not really a victim to disorderly conduct, but they're treating the alleged stuff in the complaint. Says that some of this behavior was directed at this guy, and They unfortunately don't really need a whole lot to issue a no contact order against a person.
Okay, so what do you see in the case far as me being a victim? The real victim.
As far as you, like I said, the cops only arrest you. The cops basically arrest you for talking back.
Is that a crime?
That's what?
Is that a? I was asking a question like, was that a crime? Is that a Wisconsin crime? Like, is that illegal?
I'm just thinking. Probably not. Wisconsin is not gonna, you know, Wisconsin, the state is not going to sort of, give people that amount of power against its own sort of cops.
So that means I don't have no rights in Wisconsin as a Moorish American.
There's potential civil rights action under Section 1983. That's a civil action against a state agent for basically intentionally violating your rights. I know a little bit about that area of law, but I'm certainly no expert.
But wouldn't it be the cop that broke the law?
Sorry?
Wouldn't it be the cops that broke the law?
Yeah, if they arrested you with no probable cause, and they knew that they were arresting you for no probable cause, yeah, that would be an illegal seizure.
Because it was basically a bully attack technique, and one of the officers who was there also know me too, not the bald head one, but the heavy set one, because he actually gave me somebody to bring home one time. A lady was up there. I think I got that part video too, that he was up there. He came up there on a call for someone who had got the lady said she got her stuff taken from the train station. And also, if you can like, they know me up there at the train station. They know I'm not a bad guy. It's just a bunch of me being a colored guy. I'm not trying to make it as a racial thing. Me having CCW and know the law is they trying to, do it that way. I don't want to make it a racist thing because I deal with so many people in Wisconsin and across the nation. So I'm not trying to make it a racist thing. What I do need as a Moorish America is to be free and to be able to serve my community, and because I do a lot of crime stopping things. Me and a couple of organization in Milwaukee, we do a lot of we're trying to put stops to these car thefts and the young boys out here driving reckless, and unnecessary killing. So it's necessary that this need to be taken serious because I am Morris America. I'm acting of the Morris America, and I'm not acting under the ocean law. Do you know anything about the ocean laws?
Like maritime law?
Maritime law, to where they can charge you for something that's going on in the ocean, but it's not in the ocean, it's on land.
Okay, well, you're not charged under maritime law. You're charged under the laws of the state of Wisconsin that the legislature drew up.
Well, I understand that, but being that the legislature don't know me, that's trumping charges. That what would you call be Trump charge, because he putting something that he have no physical evidence of. If I'm
right.
Right.
Whether or not they have evidence is going to be something for the jury to decide at a trial.
Well, yeah, I understand that they don't have evidence.
The evidence they say they have is basically these cops say X. Is basically what these cops say happened. That's their evidence, and that's what they're going to have at trial.
I'm not even worried about their evidence, because if they can't send their evidence to you, that means they don't have evidence. The evidence that I have the evidence that I sent you through the email, that is the real
Right.
evidence. So,
Right. I got you.
so yeah, so I just want that. I want that to be recognized with the judge that I am Moorish America and I do have rights to protect myself in this land. And I didn't use my firearm under any circumstances.
Right.
So my firearm shouldn't even be the grand total. And that's the reason the DA even came up with the firearm and they transitioned it from the guy was supposed to be something that was going on, a call in from the guy at the Greyhound bus station from the cops messed up. So it's just like, okay, well, we messed up, so we gonna make it about the guy at the bus station.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that all he's dangerous with a firearm. I'm quite sure you read you read it, but I am a legalized CCW, which means I
Yeah.
train and everything to do what I need to do to even own a firearm because I am a single daddy and I am, you know what I'm saying, serving my community abundantly, you know. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's you're right to own a firearm. Clearly, you tried. You went about it the right way. You got your CCW. I mean, um, cops in Milwaukee, you know, they see, they hear that someone has a gun. They just assume that they're a criminal, basically.
and then they never asked me
They
my
can
name,
mess with them.
my name, no information, none of that. So I'm quite sure this would be a emergency thing to the judge. Like, hey, judge, before this even get to the trial thing, I don't think it even should be a trial because they're based off the subjects and they haven't completed their evidence of what they say he done. But this evidence of these videos that I observed, you say you observed it, so the ones that I observed doesn't show him doing anything wrong.
I mean, right now, they do have enough to go to trial. All they need is these cops saying, hey, I talked to this guy inside the bus station. They said Mr. Harris was being disorderly. They can rely on that. They can go up and, once that guy says, hey, Mr. Harris is being disorderly,
Yeah, they can lie. They can lie. And that would
Yeah.
be one of the reasons they would try to keep them videos out.
Yeah, so we're gonna see exactly what information the cops were operating on when they
Can
when
you
the
get
bus
the
station, when they come and talk to you.
right, I'm sorry. Can you get the caller from the bus station from when he reported the call?
Yeah.
Cuz
Yeah,
that will
absolutely
also
something.
prove that I was asking him for a
sergeant
before they even came
Right.
out there.
Yeah.
So in your experience, your good experience, what crime do you see me breaking in these videos?
I
I
mean,
mean laws, actually.
I'm a public defender. I don't see you breaking any crimes. Disorderly conduct can mean just about anything.
Yeah.
You being loud in your own home, that can be disorderly conduct.
Yeah.
I mean, do I think you were committing a crime by, having, raising your voice at this guy behind the counter and then walking outside? No. Do I think you committed a crime by? It's hard to tell based on your video exactly what's going on because your camera's covered by whatever is going on. But
You was able to see their face, right?
what's that?
You able to see the two officers' face?
Yeah, it captures their faces.
And it captured the conversation of them intimidating me, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. It wasn't clear exactly what you may have been referring to by then.
What do you mean?
Intimidating you? Were you talking about them just like saying that you can't?
No, the approach, the way they came out and approached me.
Okay.
As an intimidation of, hey, it's going to be this or that, You say something else, you're going to jail. That's intimidation. The
Okay.
way they came out, the approach, if you watched it clear, it was seen the way they came out to intimidate me, not to talk to me, or not to even get my side of the story. It was basically a bully act.
Right. And yeah, that's absolutely the way they, approached and started that conversation. And, I think a jury will, I think we have a pretty good argument that, like, these cops,
And the guy at the bus station
they
made a
were not
false
acting,
police report. My fault.
just that, these cops, weren't trying to, de-escalate or talk with you at all. They just immediately, as soon as you, really said anything back, they, arrested you. Or, yeah. But yeah, so I'll see what I can do to get the footage from the intermodal station. Gonna try and work on that pretty quickly because it's already been a little over a month.
That's what I'm saying. I thought. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know how long they hold on to that kind of thing.
I don't think they were expecting me to have the proof that I got.
No, they don't expect us to have that video. They do not.
And I also was
And,
going to send the judge that
I'm
video
gonna
too.
I am going to have to turn that over to them at some point.
Oh, do what you got to do. I'll send it to the judge too.
Use that at trial, but
Yeah.
we'll hold on to that for a while. And, we'll...
Well, I don't have a while on my life, so I need this precision because the video shows my innocence. So I don't want this to be pushed on. I mean, if you're confident in yourself, I got confident in you, and I don't even know you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm quite sure you ain't go to be public defender to lose, and I'm not a losing. You were a winner, and I did everything according to what I have to do, being that I am a firearm owner. You know what I'm saying? Legally. So I don't want you to feel miss what's your name. I know the state and sometimes the public defender sometimes work together, but in my situation, I don't want to be bamboozled, and I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why they want to do a Zoom call so that I can so that I don't come up there. It can just be what they say.
I mean, it's just, these judges are in Zoom like 1 week a month. It just happens to be that judge's Zoom week.
Okay.
And so, I mean, tomorrow or Friday is just the pretrial conference. It's really nothing substantive is going to happen. Basically, the main thing that's going to happen is we're going to, like I said, let the judge know there's some discovery issues still. And sounds like you probably want to just get this on the trial calendar as soon as possible. Is that right?
Yes, I'm not trying to wait on anything because that's my firearm. And if you see me not being, I don't even see why you can't even present it then. Being that you're a public defender. You know what I'm saying? Because that would cut out a whole lot of people time and people this wasting tax money dollars and stuff like that. I'm not a criminal. I can see if I was a real criminal and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, but I don't have time to be wasting nobody's time.
Yeah, I get that. This is not how anyone wants to spend their time, but unfortunately things do happen slowly and with their own process.
Are you a private attorney at your own will? Because
what's that?
Are you a private attorney at your own will?
I just work for the public defender.
Well, can I hire you as a private attorney? That way I can ensure my case being treated right or fairly.
No, we can't. We don't take money from anyone else. I just get paid from the state. Don't make any more or any less based on being in I mean, honestly, the fact that I make the same amount regardless of what happens means that I'm not inclined to force you to resolve anything because it doesn't affect it only affects really you whether